It is time our community learned the truth about halal mortgages. We need to quit beating around the bush, and we need to call a spade a spade. So today I'm going to be exposing fake halal mortgages. Assalamu alaikum everyone, Jesse here with Canadian Islamic Wealth. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm going to be exposing fake halal mortgages and how you can spot one. But before I do, please make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can come back for more videos. So when it comes to the Muslim community, guys, one of the biggest things that our community is facing, one of the biggest challenges we're facing is how we can buy a house in accordance with our values and our principles. A lot of Muslims don't want to go ahead and take a conventional mortgage to purchase a house. A lot of Muslims are looking for a halal alternative. And this leads to a lot of bad actors coming in and saying they've got a halal mortgage when they really don't. And so I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice on how you can figure out which ones are real and which ones aren't. And that first piece of advice I'm going to give you is how easy is it to understand what makes it halal. So the first measure is simplicity, guys. One of the things that I've come to realize is that when you talk to any of these people who are part of a fake halal mortgage, the level of explanation you need to get to the conclusion that it actually is halal is astronomically difficult to understand. So first, and here's an example of what they say. So first what we do is you get a conventional mortgage. Then we buy the conventional mortgage from them and we put it into a trust. And then in that trust you pay it down as far as rent goes. And then within that rent you get to the end and there's a surcharge. And then with 3 more surcharges and some pink golden tickets, you're going to be able to have yourself a halal mortgage. Did any of that make any sense? Of course not, because it's overly complex to understand what makes it halal, and that is your first clue in order to spot a fake halal mortgage. If you take a legitimate one, for example, instead what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, what we do is we buy the house outright, and then for the next 25 years, you're paying us a fixed amount of rent, and at the end of that, you are going to get the house. That's simple. So on the one hand, you have something incredibly complex, and on the other hand, you have something straightforward and simple. This is not the be-all and end-all, and when it comes to Canadian finance, things can get a little bit complicated, but I would say if it's overly complicated to understand, you probably are dealing with a fake. The second point I want to make to you guys is that there is no set of standards that are specifically followed by a fake halal mortgage. Usually what they have is a signature from some mufti, some imam, some scholar somewhere who said that the process that they have is in fact halal. Whereas with a legitimate halal mortgage, they follow a set of standards. Now, these standards may differ from company to company, but at least there's a set of standards that you can go look to see whether or not they're actually following something. So a standard that I'm familiar with and I use all the time is the standard of AAO-IFI. And so if a company claims that they follow a set of standards and it's AAO-IFI compliant, there's a pretty good chance that they are following something that isn't arbitrary. Whereas if you look to fake halal mortgages, a lot of the time it is just some random set of standards and Sharia principles that don't really have any sort of continuity to them, if they have that at all. So that's another way that you can spot a fake. So the third point I want to make is at any point in the transaction, does the halal mortgage company actually own the house? If the answer to that is no, then the likelihood of you dealing with a conventional loan is really high. The reality is that unless there is ownership of the property within a halal mortgage, you're only going to be dealing with something that is like a conventional loan. You're only dealing in interest. So, like I said, guys, if these 3 things happen, it is likely you are dealing with a conventional mortgage or a fake halal mortgage. And so you need to arm yourselves with this information in order to make the best decisions possible. I'm tired of people coming along and taking advantage of the words halal in order to make a profit. And so now, hopefully, they won't be able to do it as much. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.